even though we face the difficulties of today and tomorrow, I still have a dream.
I'm not going to give you a question. You are fake news.
Hello, and welcome to the 420 Project podcast, episode number 7. I'm Sean.
I'm Erin.
I'm Michael.
And, well, what have we got here today, guys? We're at episode 7. What's been going on this week, Erin and Michael? What do you guys been doing?
I've got a quick story to tell you.
Oh, yes.
It's a work story.
Very good. We love our work
I was
stories.
doing a good deed. One of the other workers didn't have a Sharpie on them. So I remembered I had quite a lot in the shed, in my bag. So during the docket in the morning, it was about 8:30 a.m. I've already been there since about 5:50.
Wow.
And I went to the shed, went to my bag, put it in my hand and realised I have cut myself quite badly. So I have a look, and then
I see the band-aid on your finger.
At the same time as I'm looking, I remembered what it was.
Yeah.
And it was a razor blade, so a cutthroat razor blade. Brand spanking new. It was still in the packet, but it was flipped up in one corner. So it was completely vulnerable. And it was about half a centimetre away from the tip of my finger, but it's deep and very clean. So it's fine, but it hurts like a motherfucker, I'm not gonna lie.
Have you taken any, aspirin or painkillers? Don't take the opioids.
Yes, sorry. I have had Panadol today.
Get fucking hooked on that shit.
Because I had a headache, and it was like, it's still throbbing. I can feel the cut.
Jeez.
Jeez.
Yeah, so it was really stupid. So the reason why I had razor blades in my bag was I was going over to my girlfriend's house and was going to shave.
Oh, okay.
And I remembered as I was putting it into my bag, I said to myself, make sure you take all of these out so you don't cut yourself.
It's always the way.
I remember telling myself that because I remember I was going to hurt myself. One time I actually found one in the center console of my car, and I was picking up something like a drink, and I saw it and I stopped. I'm like, that was pretty close if I cut my finger. So you gotta stop leaving these around because they're quite deadly.
I've been cut by them before. I remember back when I was younger. Quick funny story from my youth was I first discovered razors in the shower, and I was like, oh, what's my mum use this for? You've heard this story before, because obviously you're my wife. So I was like, oh, what are razors used for? I was like, oh, they shave hair. And so I was like, oh, let's have a look. So I shaved a little bit on my arm, and I was like, oh, cool. So I ended up shaving off most of it on my arm, and I didn't think much of it. And being only 10 or 11 years old at the time, you don't really have much hair on your arms anyway.
Yes.
So people wouldn't really notice it. So then I went on to think, oh, what else could it get? So I had a quick look, and I got my a little part of my leg. I was like, oh, it does the legs as well. And then I thought, well, don't they use razors to cut hair? So I decided to. So mind you, it's just like a cheap Bic razor, which is like 1 or 2 blades or whatever like that.
Yeah.
So I decided that I was gonna do my own haircut, and I cut off a chunk of my hair.
Yeah.
About that big square in my hair.
Yeah.
And when I did it, I realised, oh, this isn't how you cut hair.
Okay.
With you need clippers.
Yes.
So I fucked my mum's razor, so I had to get rid of all the hair, and I was like, oh, it's all good now.
Yes.
But then I just was freaking out, because I got a bald spot on my head. So I got out of the shower, and I snuck into my room, and I stayed in my room the whole time. Until Mum said, it's time to go to school, let's go.
Yeah.
She gets me in the car, I go, I'll meet you in the car. So she doesn't, so she gets in the car so she doesn't sit it back of my head.
Yeah.
So I'm hiding it from her.
Yeah.
Then we get to school, and I'm like, oh, I've almost made it to school, and Mum hasn't noticed. I walk out of the car, walk in front of the car, and then I just hear her, Sean, what is that? And
How did you wear a hat though? Were you gonna go to school and let people tease you?
I don't know, I was a fucking idiot, yeah. I couldn't believe it. And yeah, she noticed, so I had to get it fixed after school. My mum took me to get my hair cut, so I had a really short haircut in the middle of winter.
Yeah.
That's also what it was. It was,
nice.
10 degree days and everything
I can
like that.
so imagine like how your reaction would be.
Yeah.
It would have been like, oh no, she's caught me.
Yep. I just didn't know how I was going to explain it though. At the end of the day, I thought if I could, I don't know what my thinking was. Could I make it to the end of the day and she wouldn't know? That's
And
all.
she notices the fine stuff like your legs and arms are done too. It's like, what are you doing?
What are you doing?
You're only 10. It's hilarious.
It's a bit of a silly story.
Also, I just wanted to remind people, if you like The Incredibles, #1, after 14 years, the second movie is out in summer in America. So I guess
Yes, I heard it. I heard about that.
14 years.
It's been ages.
14 years, yeah.
Wow, I don't even know if I've seen the first one.
Yeah, I haven't seen the first one. Well, I've seen the first one, so I'm excited for it. And we've got a trailer here to just show. I know you haven't seen the first one, Aaron, but show the trailer.
You've seen the first one.
I've seen the first one, yeah. From Disney and Pixar. Same thing. That baby's cute. He's got laser eyes like Superman. Yeah.
You have powers! Yeah, baby!
Oh, that looks hilarious.
What's the first one?
Oh, I'll have to show you it. I definitely will have to show you it. I think that looks pretty good
Yeah.
in terms of movies. But we saw a movie the other day, actually.
Yeah, speaking of movies, Sean and I watched Thor 3. Is it 3?
Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah.
Say that again.
Ragnarok.
Yeah, I
Say
wasn't,
that 10 times.
I wasn't going to say
Ragnarok, Ragnarok, Ragnarok,
I was gonna
Ragnarok,
say
Ragnarok.
because I had Ragnarok. Because it's like,
Ragnarok.
Oh, yes.
Ragnarok.
that was good. It wasn't just like full on, just action packed.
There's a lot of comedy in it.
Yeah.
Yes.
From the first two movies of Thor, they're a lot more darker drama.
Yeah.
Whereas this had a lot of comedy. There was action and comedy. There wasn't so much. There wasn't really drama. There was a villain, but yeah, it was a film that didn't take itself too seriously. The director is from New Zealand, and he played a character in it, which I think everyone will love. He's like this big rock creature,
Yes.
and he was just this little character that came on the screen for probably 2 minutes totally in the whole movie. And he provided some
Yeah,
pretty hilarious
just with
comic
the
relief,
accent.
and he did his Kiwi accent too.
Yeah, it was hilarious.
So it was like this big fucking rock thick creature that looks scary, and he's just like, "Oh, hey bro, what's up? How you going, bro?"
That's actually pretty good.
It was. Oh, it's easy for us Aussies to do Kiwi accents. Oh, it was
That's good.
It was a pretty funny
So overall,
movie.
you enjoyed yourself.
I enjoyed it. Yeah.
Yeah, it was good.
Nice.
Speaking of work, I have a work story myself.
Oh, yes.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I like work stories.
Yeah.
That was a really weird segue because we didn't mention work
Yeah, Michael
just then.
Michael was talking about
Yeah,
work before.
but we got there. We got there in the
Yeah, I
end.
know.
We got there.
So the other
I love
day,
that.
I think it was Wednesday because I take Izzy to childcare.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So I dropped her off, and she was a little bit upset. So I stayed with her to make sure she was okay, and then I left, and I got to work, and because I go into the kitchen and then I go into the lift to go up to level 1,
Yes.
where I'm working with conferencing,
Yes.
and I got into the kitchen for the ground level, and I saw my chef who was talking to the breakfast chef near the back door, and I noticed that he looked at his watch to see what time it was that I was rocking up, and I know I was a little bit late, and I was like, damn it, like he just happened to be there to
Yes.
notice that I was a bit late. So I went upstairs and just worked and did all my work and everything, and I came down to the ground level and did a few things, and at no stage he said anything to me about being late,
Yeah.
and I was like, oh, it's fine, like.
I hate when bosses are like that when they're looking at their watch. Going,
But like he never said anything to me the whole time. So then I finished work at 1, like I do every day.
Mm.
Got home, and then about 1:30 he messaged me, and this is what he wrote. Please remember to complete your timesheet daily. Upon review, I note you have 8 a.m. start today, but clearly didn't arrive on time as witnessed by myself this morning. Really important you complete your timesheet daily, please, chef. And I was like, said to Sean, why would he message me that? Like, why couldn't he just say something to me at work?
It's really passive aggressive.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, but like it could be like internal stuff, like he does not like speaking to women that way, giving them like, I don't know, like maybe he's scared by you, like telling you and
I guess the way that society
confrontation as well, maybe.
I guess the way the society is changing very lately is maybe he is scared of being alone with a woman.
Yeah.
But he's been alone and spoke to me before.
I know, but that was before. That was before
But
all this shit happened in the last month or so. Maybe that's his.
I don't know, I just thought it was weird, but also I was a little bit late, but the day on the Tuesday I stayed back to help out, so I was a bit late anyway, like finishing, because I usually finish at 1, but I think I finished at 10 past. So then, not that I on purpose turned up to work the next day to be late, but it was just happens that I was dropping Izzy off at childcare, and I was a little bit late.
Mm-hmm.
But
You got stuck in traffic, and I'm
always on time, and like I've never.
That's the first time he's ever seen you be late, and
Yeah, it was the first
I'm
time
sure
that
it'll
I've
be a
been
non
late,
issue.
and he just happened to see me. But I was just like, I'm always on. But it was just the message, like when I read it, I was just
It's
like,
really
It gets to you.
yeah, I was just like, really?
Talk to me directly or something.
Yeah, you
like-
could have just mentioned and go, oh, Aaron just knows you're a bit late at work. And
Yeah. So
would have been fine. Yeah.
So speaking, here there's a bit of news here in Australia. If our international followers and listeners have not heard, Australia has had a postal survey vote on same-sex marriage over the last couple of months, and basically it was a non-binding vote for all Australians to take part, all registered voters to take part in if they so chose. And the results were in, and Australia, 61.6% voted yes. So I have a little awesome video to show us to enjoy,
Nice.
and for those listening overseas to hear the moment. Same-sex marriage is one step closer here in Australia to being fully legalised.
And now the official results of the Australian Marriage Law Postal Survey. For the national result, yes responses, 7,817,247, representing 61.6% of clear responses. That's 61.6% of clear responses were yes. No responses, 4,873,900.
Yeah, look at him go.
Representing 38.
Oh, look at the glitter.
Clear responses.
Awesome.
Good job. Australia.
Fantastic.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
job.
that's good.
I'm
I thought it
so...
would have been more than 61% though.
Oh, yeah, it was...
The further away you get from like the bigger cities, the more percentage of no voters are
Yes, that is true.
higher. Especially in Darwin, up north. Not just pointing.
Although, I did look at the statistics for Darwin.
Yeah.
They had a 58% voter turnout.
Okay.
So
Like
that's a bit...
Queensland as a whole.
So Northern Territory is a bit harder because there was only 58% who actually voted.
Like the further away from the cities, the percentage goes a little bit higher.
So so that's what the statistician said was 61.6% voted yes, 38.4% voted no, and I think that's all the numbers. Yeah, is that right? Even if the people abstained, there's no percentage for abstaining, is there? I don't think there is.
Oh, probably.
I don't know. They would have chucked them out. They don't count. Oh, they don't count because they don't. People just chuck them out.
Yeah, they wouldn't.
They only count the ones that they got back.
Yeah, they only count the yes and no.
They don't need an abstaining result. Sorry, my fault. So, a couple of interesting facts was 79.5% participation by the Australian voting public.
Yep.
And that was more than turned out for the American election in
really?
2016. I think they had about 60 something. I should have wrote that down. And it was also a larger turnout for the vote on Brexit in the United Kingdom
Nice.
as well. So it was an issue that really people really fought for and really wanted to have a say for. I mean,
Well,
as much as it
The
was
figures show.
as much as it was annoying that they had to do it that way,
Yes.
they still wanted to they still felt really compelled to do it the stupid way that
Yeah.
they've been forced to do it.
Would have been bigger news if it said no.
Yeah.
It would have been people throwing.
I don't think it
I don't know, it
nice
would have
to
been...
see if it was a no. Like,
I was, it was on Wednesday, so that was actually mine and Erin's 3rd wedding anniversary. Pound it! Woo!
Good job.
So that was a nice little present to get, finding out that same-sex marriage is going to,
yeah, it was good to
Become-
find out that
that
on
Australia,
our anniversary that it's
our country,
got legalised.
decided.
Say that, yeah.
It hasn't been legalised yet, but it's very close.
Yeah,
It's
well,
just
getting-
about there.
it's getting there.
It's getting there. It's just about to happen.
Kids.
Yeah, exactly. So what were you guys doing when the announcement was being made?
I was
And
at work.
You're at work.
Yeah.
I remember
What was your
my boss was like screaming
Initial
yes
reactions?
out the back, and I'm like, "What's going on?" She's like, "Well, this happened." I was like, "Oh, okay, that makes sense. That's why you're reacting that way. 'Cause
Yeah.
you're quite happy." So yeah, I was at work.
So
it was,
what,
it was like 10:30 in the morning. I heard.
What was it? Everyone else was there a vibe in the cafe? Like was
Yeah,
a lot of people
was a
there
good
knowing
vibe.
what was
Yeah,
going on?
It was a good vibe. Customers were happy as well, especially happy that day.
Was there good tipping that day? Do you reckon?
Oh, I wouldn't be surprised. I
Yeah.
actually think they did get good amounts of tips.
Probably.
Really good
Yeah,
reviews.
I was just working, but it was just a normal day for me and everyone else.
I think I messaged you.
Yeah, you messaged
I
me.
messaged you. Yeah.
I heard about it on the radio that morning to say it was going to get announced at 10.
And you put it on the radio?
No.
No.
Because I was working and the radio at work doesn't work. So I was just like, oh, Sean probably messaged me, and then you messaged me to say that it got through. I was like, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
So,
That's pretty good. So, another surprising statistic, but before I go into that, I just thought I'd mention really quickly, it is currently 4:18. It's almost 4:20. Does somebody want some weed?
Okay. Yeah.
A pipe?
Can I have a bong? Or do you want a bong?
I want the
You want a
bong.
bong. I don't want a pipe.
Alright.
sorry, I was looking at the iPad, and because I screenshotted something, it was like 3 something. I was like, it's not 4. What are you talking about?
Hang on. I'll do it right on when it clicks on 4:20 on my phone,
You do.
and then I'll quickly pack you one.
Yeah.
Actually, there's the other cone. Could you get the other cone piece that's in the computer? On the computer screen.
Yeah, just be in the
It's a computer.
Just be in the computer.
Gone in.
It's in the computer. It's
out.
inside the
She comes back with
computer?
a fucking hard drive or something. Or the C-RAM disk or whatever the fuck.
Do you remember?
Let's go back out of the computer.
Yes.
That was fun.
Pack a pipe. What was that song that we used to sing?
Don't leave your bongs just sitting in a heap. Come to Pack a Pipe, where everything's cheap. Second-hand pipes for second-hand bongs from a glass to a. Can't remember the words.
From a glass to a cone.
From a glass to a cone to a
Yeah.
double barrel bong. I don't know. That sounded alright.
That sounded pretty good.
Oh, 420. Oh yeah, everyone.
Oh dear. Don't forget what you were talking about, Sean. I feel like he's gonna be like, what was I talking about?
Thank you.
You alright? No? Okay.
Yeah, I'm fine.
You're right, okay.
So surprising of all was the participation by the 18 to 19 year olds, with 81% of females and 75% of males in the 18 to 19 age bracket who voted.
Wow. That's more surprising than I expected.
So what do you think of those, and what do you reckon it tells it?
So
Tells us.
what was the percentage?
Oh, Michael wasn't listening. He just singed my hair, you cunt. He got my leg. Oh, you can smell it. Oh, that
I
reeks.
can't smell it.
That's hilarious.
81% of females and 75% of males in the age bracket 18 to 19 voted. And they participated.
Yeah, I agree. It's not. I mean,
So what do you think of these stats, and what does it tell us?
Well,
It's good to hear that younger people are more accepting and not going to just be like, oh, bloody gays, and call people names, and not just...
Well, just the fact that they participated and voted.
That's
what it's telling us. It's not saying who voted which way. It's saying like that who participated. So
but still,
what I'm seeing that it's telling us is that basically they wanted the postal vote because they thought that the younger generation wouldn't fucking vote, wouldn't have a say because it's a postal vote. Young people don't know what the post is.
Yes.
I mean, they're so fucking stupid and deluded in Canberra.
Really how they'll think?
I think that's how they're thinking. They're like, oh, well, older people are more likely to use the post than they are, because it is statistically proven that I used to work I worked during an election time, and we were shown that there were statistics that proved that the older generations, like 65 and over, they are more likely to send in like a postal vote rather than go to a place on the day.
Yeah.
So that makes a lot more sense. So I think that was their thinking, like, oh, the older people are more likely to just probably send in a postal vote, so the younger ones won't realise what's going on. But they didn't realise how loud, I reckon, there was for the campaigning and everything like that. Do you guys want to hear something funny news out of the electorate campaign?
Yes.
One of the electorates is the person in charge of it is ex-Prime Minister Mr. Tony Abbott.
This
what kind of
clown.
accent are you trying to do?
I don't know. I was trying to do an impression of him. I don't know. I haven't watched that.
Say like more
That
Kiwi.
wasn't
though.
very good.
It wasn't very.
Kiwi.
I'm gone. I'm off. I'm off. I'm leaving. No, I'm kidding. His electorate of Warringah, 75% voted yes.
Nice.
And he was a very avid no campaigner. His daughter also was a yes campaigner.
Did she get engaged?
Yes. Did you hear that?
No.
Francis Abbott. Yeah. Did you read about it?
No, I didn't, but I saw that it said Francis got engaged, and I was just like, who's that? And then I clicked on
2 weeks.
to see who it was, and then I was like, ah.
2 weeks after she's been with this guy. 2 weeks.
After she's been
2
with
weeks. 2 weeks.
him. Ah.
What does Tony think of that? Oh, I don't like the fucking...
I don't approve.
I don't approve of
Oh.
gay people getting married, but my daughter, she can get married after 2 weeks. And, oh, where's my onion?
My onion.
Remember he ate a raw onion? Have you seen that?
No.
On the campaign trail back in the on the campaign trail back when he was elected.
I didn't even know that.
He ate an onion raw like this.
Really?
He ate it like a hand fruit.
Ugh.
A hand fruit.
Yes.
That's gross.
Statistics to here were here's the rundown of the states and territories. So New South Wales, 57% voted yes. Victoria, 64% voted, 64.9%.
Nice.
Queensland, 60.7%. South Australia, 62.5%. Western Australia, 63.7%. Tasmania, 63.6%. Northern Territory, 60.6%. And the Australian Capital Territory, 74%.
So they're all
Voted
like
yes.
in the 60s and up.
Yes, the only one that was below 60 was New South Wales, and surprisingly it was a couple of the electorates just outside of Sydney, which have got multicultural ethnic communities there. So a lot of different religious people who live around that area, apparently, so they were more likely to vote no, which wasn't a surprise. But in total, 150 electorates and 133, I think it was,
Yeah.
that voted yes. So that's pretty fucking high. That's like a definite fucking Australia's going yes for gay marriage. Awesome. I'm over the moon. I've got cousin. You've got a cousin as well who's also gay.
Nice.
I've got it too.
And I think we all know at least one person
Yeah.
who knows one person, but at least we all know one person who's gay by association. And it's just fantastic that it's come this far. It's not fantastic it took this long or it came this far, but they've got there hopefully in the end, and they're looking to get it legalised in the next sitting of Parliament. December 7th is when they're hoping to get it done by, because if they get it done before the 7th of December, they'll have it ready for legalization by Christmas. People can start getting married. And January, people will be able to get their certificates at the earliest.
Nice.
And shit like that. Because they'll have to sort of add a new sort of section, I guess, to the whole births, deaths and marriages place.
Takes a little bit of time, but yeah.
So they need more space now.
Yeah.
It's going to be fantastic. So another little stat I found interesting, or not a stat, something I found extremely interesting was 20 years ago, Tasmania still had homosexuality as an illegal crime, as a crime.
Really?
Only 20 years ago. It was still illegal in Tasmania to be a homosexual.
Wow.
And as I read out just before, Tasmania voted 63.6% yes. So they have come a long fucking way in 20 years.
Holy shit.
They were the last state to get rid of it. And yeah, that was fantastic to see that, especially since the senator from Tasmania, Erica Beats, I'm pretty sure his name is, he was a big avid no campaigner, and pretty much his whole state said, fuck you, we want it, like we don't care what you have to think, you're in the minority now, motherfucker. And that's what I like about it. And also in the news that day, on the Wednesday, was a double whammy for Australia. Australia got same-sex marriage, and the Socceroos qualified for the Soccer World Cup, and they made it to Russia.
Fantastic.
And they fucking won 3-1 over... I don't even remember who they played now. They're irrelevant.
Oh, I do remember. What was it?
3-1, did you say?
Oh,
H.
Honduras.
Yeah,
Yes.
I was like J-H.
For those American listeners, Honduras is the team that effed you guys over and made America not make the World Cup, so we beat them, so... So, moving on now, and who's got anyone got anything else to talk about?
Yes, I do. I found
Fuck off, Michael,
I saw
you
this
fucker.
thing on Facebook just before, and it caught my eye, and I was like, I want to read this to see what it says.
Yeah.
The topic for it, or the headline, said, "Scientists probe mystery shipwreck in search for cannibal rat-infested ghost ship."
Oh my god, that is so weird. What the fuck?
Okay.
That is a really... Can you say that again? Because that was like so many different words.
Yeah.
Scientists probe mystery shipwreck in search for cannibal rat-infested ghost ship.
Oh my god, there's a ghost ship in... Oh my god.
Go into it.
Can you please go into that? What is that about?
Okay,
It's so interesting.
a mysterious shipwreck that washed up on a Californian coast sparked fears it could be a missing Russian ghost ship infested with cannibal rats. There is a little video that I've...
Rats are eating the rats.
Oh my god.
Rats are eating each other.
I didn't actually watch this video,
So
but...
I feel like I'm just taking...
Oh, there's a video.
I don't know. There is, but I'm not sure what it's about, and I haven't...
Let's have a look.
To see.
Maybe... Oh, it's 49 seconds. Let's have a look. Oh, there's an ad first. Let's just wait for the ad to play. Here we go. Here it is. Go. Press... Oh. Bit of volume, please.
Yep.
Is the same length as the notorious Russian ghost ship, the Lubov Alova.
Ooh. So there's a ship that's been missing.
2013 on its final voyage from Newfoundland to the Caribbean.
It was being towed away for scrap, and along the way, the tow line broke, and now this ship is floating in the ocean.
This ship is rumored to have been taken over by hordes of cannibal rats. I mean, there's nothing else to eat.
Ah, there's so many rats.
Giant ship full
Yuck.
of these ravenous hordes of cannibal
Although I want a
rats
pet rat.
appearing on your local beach, right where you live.
So they took over the ship, but they didn't like actually like take over the ship, and it was like army fellow hearties, come on ratties.
It just
it's a ship of rats.
People just didn't want to go near it because they're cannibal rats.
Yeah, well, it's
because they looked like disgusting.
There's no food on the ship, so obviously the rats are
just eating each other. That makes sense because they're stupid. They're not as smart as we are.
Oh, that's disturbing.
It is really weird.
Anyway, I've got another thing
I'd
like to talk about. It's quite a hot topic here in Victoria.
Oh, yes.
So it's cyclists on the road.
Oh, yeah, cyclists. What have we got now? Have we got cyclists doing something wrong, or what have we
got? I saw a cop car the other day pull up next to me.
Yeah.
And it was a red light, and it was coming down a T intersection with a set of traffic lights.
Yeah.
And he was riding against the top of the T, and I was going across it too.
Yep.
But it was red because coming from the bottom of the T, this car was turning, right?
Yep.
He went through a red light.
The cyclist?
The cyclist. And the police did nothing.
Yeah.
So, like, it's not, like, is it against the law to go through?
This is an interesting discussion.
Is that?
Because I saw an ad yesterday, which was from the TAC, with basically was an ad where these cyclists are like riding their bike, and then it just pauses and says, they pause and they get off the bike, and the whole video stops, and they go, you need to be this far apart in a 60 zone, and it's like 1.5 meters away from them at all times or something. Oh no, 1 meter away in a 60 zone you have to be from a cyclist.
Yes.
And then it did it again, and it goes, and it stops, and it's in an 80 zone, and it's like, and then 80 and above you need to be 1.5 meters away from them. And then looking at that, I was like, 1.5 meters. So I guess with country roads, it's okay, like you can be on the other side of the road, but I'm like, how are you supposed to give them 1.5 meters of space?
In Melbourne.
Yeah.
Above 80,
yeah.
When you're going to be you'd have to be half sitting over the median line, over the dotted line,
yes,
in the lane next to you.
Yes.
So that's basically what that is. Like, I understand on the country road.
Of course I want to respect them, but it's like sometimes there's no way, and more than sometimes, there's no way you can move over 1.5 meters. There's always something like an island strip in the middle. So it's like, oh, do I fuck my car?
Yeah.
Do I slow down and cause more traffic?
Yeah, exactly.
Or like an accident, because you're going 80 and now you have to, because you can't take over, you can't go through.
Yeah.
Otherwise it's illegal. Like, otherwise you're like either hurting someone or yourself or breaking the law.
Exactly.
Or you're slowing down and causing an accident.
Because I was just bringing that up because I like the comparison. You say like they go and then they're technically breaking the law.
Yes.
But they've got there are laws in place that protect them on the road, but they don't have to adhere to road rules, which I don't understand. If you're a cyclist out there, please give me some. Give us some insight. I want to hear your side of the story. I want to hear everyone's side, whether you're pro cycling or against cycling. But I guess looking into their shoes, it's all about their protection, which I understand.
But that's the thing.
They're putting their life at risk at the same time. They don't have to pay
insurance, but they get TAC.
How?
So they, because they're on the road, using the road, they don't have to pay tolls. / you're not allowed to ride on there.
Yeah.
But like not over bridges, not on freeways, but like, you know, there's no red light camera security. You can't catch them. It doesn't have number plate systems.
Yeah.
You know, how do you contact that person?
It's just a picture of a person on a bike.
That's what I was going to say. How do cyclists know that they're getting pulled up by the cops? Because they don't have a mirror to see.
Yeah.
And they'll just hear the siren and just assume that they're chasing a car. And then the police officer can't like go too close because you'll hit them. So I've always just wanted to know that. It's like
I think it's just a very complicated topic. I don't think they've sorted out the legislation correctly. I don't think both sides have either.
Well, that's why I was saying
got what they want.
That's what sparked this convo. Anyway, so there was a car coming out.
Yeah.
And that made me think. As he's illegally going through the red light, and that car got the green to turn, whose fault would it be?
According to, I think under the law, it's the car's fault, which
For hitting
I don't
the
fucking
cyclist.
understand.
Even though the cyclist
is coming, apparently, according to the way the law's interpreted, we are responsible for our surroundings, which this is why it's so complicated. As a car, we're responsible for the people in our car and keeping an eye out for everything around us, hazards and what have you. Someone on a bike is a hazard which we're supposed to look out for at all times. Now I get what you're saying. Like, what if they come? Like, what if it was like up a hill like that, and it was just like the turns right off the hill? If you're the car sitting there, and you got to turn left, and then a bike flies over the hill and then comes down, and then they want to go straight through, and you hit them, like, how would you feel? Like, it's not technically your fault. Like, you've seen no one's coming.
Yeah, it's just a split second.
It's a split second. They could have been there straight away. But if you're talking about where it's an open road and everything like that, it's always going to be the car's fault. That's the way the law is interpreted.
That's shit, especially if the car has the right of way, like a green light, and the bike did the wrong thing by going through. But I suppose it should be the bike's fault because they risked their life to go through the red when they could have just waited.
Yeah.
Which I don't understand as well. Like what you're saying is they do it straight in front of the cops. If that was a car, pulled over straight away. Yeah. Do you understand what you're doing? Like you
just went through.
You probably get a fine. You may get a lecture depending on what kind of cop it is. But if the cop gives you a lecture, it'd be something along the lines of you need to keep an eye out. You never go through red lights because the people are coming this way. It's an 80. Like, mate, you don't know what speed they're allowed to do coming across you like that, especially at a T intersection. You don't know what the speed limit is coming across. So yeah, I get that. I really do. It's pretty frustrating.
Talking about car accidents, just quickly before you, Aaron. There was a car accident on the way here, hence why it's 15 minutes late. And that was a 3-car.
Was it 15 minutes?
Was it? Or 20?
Or was it half an hour?
Or did you not answer the door for 10 minutes?
Or you could have knocked on the window for...
I did.
Why didn't you
What window? What fucking window did you knock on? Oh, yeah.
At least you didn't...
Like this.
At least you didn't do someone else,
I knocked like that.
Oh my god. Yeah. Let's not mention... Oh, you want to mention it?
Oh, it doesn't matter.
Tell me.
Oh, we just had someone come over and they didn't go around... We've told them when they come over that they go to this side where you park and come to the front door. Yeah, that's the front door. Because that's our door that we go through to go to our car. And we're in the lounge room and this person's knocked on this door.
Yep.
I was at the computer.
All my shit was out.
Sean was asleep. Izzy was watching TV. So, and it's a little knock. You can't hear that. I can't hear that. And it's like, we've told you
from all the way back. And the door was closed too.
Don't go out there. Don't go there. And it was raining as well.
No.
Pouring down with the rain, yeah.
It's not hard to see that that's the front door.
That's the front door. It's got a doorbell. Now that it's working because I changed the batteries, but we've got a doorbell and that's our front door. We've told them to use it, so...
It's frustrating.
Very frustrating, but anywho...
You had to bloody, rush and get everything hidden.
Yeah, I was just like, shit.
Yeah.
You did a good job.
Yeah.
I was out of it. I was asleep. I don't know. And then Erin just comes and goes, "Oh, Sean, this person just came over," and I was like, "Oh shit! Did you hide everything?" She's like, "Yep, all good." I didn't care. She's stressing the fuck out. I'm all good. I mean, I was just waking up. So, anyway, Eric, continue.
Yeah,
You've got another story for us.
Yeah, so I think it's quite funny. So, I saw that a man got arrested after ordering 20 hash browns at Macca's drive-thru.
Why?
I will tell you. As soon as I read that, I was like, I've got to read this. What? Why? How?
I love hash browns.
Yeah, I know. But
200.
Why do you get arrested?
Well, that's what I'm
intrigued.
I was just like, what?
I am very intrigued right now.
The man was arrested at Thornley in Sydney's north.
Yep. After
becoming agitated that the restaurant were not selling nuggets for breakfast. So he did 4 laps of the Macca's drive-thru, ordering the 200 hash browns on his second way out.
Oh, you said 20.
Sorry, 200.
Oh, fucking hell.
Sorry.
You said 20. No, I was just like, 20's not that. Why are you getting arrested for 20?
Sorry, 200.
Well, still, why are you getting arrested for 200?
If you're paying for it, what the... Anyway, continue, please. I want to hear this.
So, the 200 he ordered on his second way around.
Yep.
But the police found the man intoxicated at the wheel of the car around 4:50 a.m. Still waiting for his $230 worth of hash browns.
Oh my god.
But he was over quite a bit. He failed a breath test recording a reading of 0.175.
Oh shit.
License suspended on the spot.
Oh my god. Holy, that blew my fucking mind. That just...
I know, you can just see this person driving
so
around
quickly.
like this car, like drive through, and he's like, he wants to get 200 hash browns.
Yeah, okay.
I guess that it was either like the Macca's workers maybe called the cops or something because they noticed.
They worked it out at the window. Like,
yeah,
you
but like
would
who?
have been well and truly
Yeah, but
drunk.
seriously, 200? Like who?
But he's paid for him. Give them to him. Come
No,
on.
did he actually pass money over?
I don't know. He said that he was waiting.
Oh, so he was waiting. So
He was still waiting for his $230
worth. So yeah, he would have.
When the police found him intoxicated.
So
At the wheel.
he was sitting at the wheel, probably in the waiting bay, just going, "Where's my fucking hash brown, man?" Yeah, it's in Aussie. Yeah, it's in Sydney. Hang on, it'll be a bogan Aussie. Here's my fucking hash brown, man. Fucking, I'm spending all my fucking Centrelink on that shit, man.
What's the bloody suburb in Sydney that's like feral?
Isn't that west?
It's out west. That's not a bad reputation.
No
one get offended by that
not
fucking
that I've really been to
accent.
Sydney
Jesus.
to say what's good and what's bad, but yeah, I just thought that was hilarious. It's like, really?
That's amazing. I love that.
Yeah. I couldn't believe that.
I got a funny story for you guys since we're talking of funny stories. Unless you're finished.
Yeah, I'm done.
You're done?
Unless
We've
you're
had
finished.
our
Yeah.
laugh.
Yeah.
You've had a laugh. Would you like another? Here comes another one. Oh, yeah. So this funny story is an advertisement for this company.
Say that again. A what?
An advertisement.
Yep.
Yeah, for a company.
I bet you I'll listen back to that recording. I said advertisement perfectly the first time.
Yeah, it's
Did you
fine.
really?
Just go. What do you got?
Fuck you. An advertisement has gone horribly wrong in their graphics department. It is a company called Artisanal Cheese. That's it. Artisanal Cheese is the name.
Yes.
And there is a problem with their graphics department. And the person who tweeted this out, Adam McNave,
Yeah. What a funny.
on Twitter. Thanks, accidentally hysterical ad campaign gift making person. I'll never be able to read artisanal normally again, and I've got the GIF here to show you, so you can see what is wrong with this company's name, Artisanal Cheese.
Artisanal.
Yeah,
What do we name?
and this is the ad. Here it is.
Wow.
Now, for those obviously at home,
Oh, it's anal cheese.
it says art is anal cheese, artisanal cheese, but the way they've set that graphic up,
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
it's come in and says art is anal cheese. That's how everyone's read it online. It is so good.
That's hilarious.
Some comments, some people tweeting about it said, is art anal cheese? That sounded like am I Ron Burgundy? Another person tweeted, if you really think about it, art is anal cheese. Another tweet was, art is anal cheese. This explains my entire career / education. I didn't get that one, but it was weird. And the last one, it does make me glad I don't eat cheese. Also, I will never misspell artisanal ever again.
When the fuck will we use artisanal anyway?
But now you know. Just think art is anal. You got it. It's a hard word to do, but you got it.
Yeah, once you, like, if you say...
I just want to see that GIF again, just one more time before we...
If you'd asked me to spell it, I would have no idea. But now I know that it's...
Art is anal cheese.
Wow.
At least I know how to spell it. 'Cause I wouldn't have known.
How do you reckon they would have come up with that? You reckon there was a company that just...
I think, yeah, it's literally the person who just fucked up.
Yeah, it's just that...
They did not see it as they were working on it. They're like, oh yeah, this just looks good.
Yeah.
Didn't see it at all.
Yeah.
And everyone else is going, artisanal.
Just straight up artisanal.
Oh dear.
Oh.
I've got one for you.
Oh yeah?
We're all
What have we got here? Another story here?
Artisanal cheese story.
Artisanal cheese.
I was going to ask, like, when do you guys think we're going to get, like, the average Joe,
Yep.
like you and I,
Yes.
every other average Joe around here, is going to get the self-driving car. So, like, not fully automated, as in, like, you can let go, but you still need to be there.
Yep.
Like, fully just not touching the wheel.
20 years.
You reckon?
20 years.
Because, like, we've got self-driving
We are too
cars
far.
where it's like, it can do everything, but you just
You sit there.
legally have to sit there at the moment.
And you have to be awake.
Yes, still.
Yeah.
And your hands need to sort of be near the wheel.
I reckon, yeah, probably 15 to 20.
I think the way that the law works and the way our parliament works, they'll be... Look at how long it took for same-sex marriage. I mean,
Yeah, I know.
they're just about to pass it through, as I mentioned earlier. Like, how long are they going to take to be like, yeah, let's legislate for self-driving cars? I advocate for self-driving cars tremendously because, reasons being, if everyone had self-driving cars, or another system I've heard of was everyone just stops having cars and we just have cars that come and pick us up and take us where we need to go. No one owns any cars anymore.
Yes.
I think that would be an amazing system because the way I see it is...
Rego.
So it's
No
like,
rego and
like
everything.
an Uber. But
Basically, and everyone can
yeah.
use it.
There's always there and you don't
It's
have
a-
to pay.
it's a fully
Is that what you're saying?
autonomous
That you don't have to
car.
pay though?
Yeah, and you don't. I'm pretty sure. Maybe have to pay a fee. I don't know what the. It's something that
Maybe
might be getting trialed
$1 a
soon
day.
somewhere around the world. But
Well,
it's
why do they treat it like
it's
a
something I've
toll?
heard of.
The people pay taxes
Yeah.
until it's paid off, and then once its debt's paid, that system,
Yeah.
then it's free. It's a free system.
So I think that once we get rid of everyone having cars, if that system doesn't ever come in our lifetime, I think if everyone had self-driving vehicles, we would have 0 deaths on the road because there is the biggest reason there are accidents is human error.
Yeah.
Drugs, alcohol, whatever, tiredness, fatigue.
I mean, we've got the system already. Because, like, not talking about cars specifically, but
Yeah.
like packaging. Large packaging companies use robots
Yes.
that talk to each other around a very large showroom holding specific items, and they
Yeah.
have to get from one side to the other. And they talk to each other, and that's why they never have crashes. And they basically just mesh as a grid. So, like, it does go without saying that when it is coming in, it'll be like 0 deaths, quicker times. You know,
Would you want
from
one?
here to the city would take maybe 10 minutes.
I think
Yeah.
that'd be
You know
pretty
what I mean?
cool.
What do you
Like to
reckon?
know to be in like a really safe car
Yeah.
and not have to drive. Because how many
Yeah.
times do you just like, oh, I don't
But,
want to
like,
I think
drive.
There'll be no traffic lights.
yeah,
They don't
it would
need
just
it.
it would just
It'll
be
merge.
everyone
so
would
like,
go.
as you're merging, like
Everyone would
you
go
know,
the same
talking
speed.
like 2 kilometers apart, cars know they're there, so they prepare themselves for the mash, and then in 2Ks, it's already worked out, it's on track, and then it just
It's just
mashes.
like what you've probably
So
seen
it's
on a cartoon or
continuous-
something. Maybe like the
continuous
Jetsons.
streaming, and like you can go faster speeds, you know.
I think I've seen something similar like on the Jetsons where everything's just autonomous and it's just perfect and it's just in sync and everything
it's
like
like a
that.
heartbeat.
But I've seen the Tesla. I think Tesla have a car which senses crashes ahead of time.
Yes, and
which
the
we
same-
think is ahead of time, but it's actually it isn't actually technically ahead of time. It's happening right then, but the computer's radar picked it up the millisecond the crash started happening.
Yeah.
And then it just stopped the car. I've seen that video a couple of times, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And you just like look at it going, it's fantastic for you as your vehicle just stops like quite a safe distance back. But what about the cars behind you? If they don't have, if they're not paying attention, they're going straight up the back of you.
Mercedes-Benz, from that course I did one day, Sean, at Mercedes-Benz driving event.
Yeah, you told us about that a few weeks ago on the podcast.
Their braking system, and it took a long time to get this pattern through, but like it blinks when you're in an emergency.
Yeah.
And then, like just from braking, if you're braking quite hard, it notices, and you're coming to a stop, the brake lights are flashing, and you're like both hazards are on.
Oh, okay.
and then it goes solid when you've stopped. So like the car behind you has quite a lot of warning, and that's fully autonomous.
That's pretty cool.
Instead of relying on you to turn on the hazards.
Because that would annoy people, because usually if it's an orange light, they'll go, oh, they're indicating, so you pay attention, because it's usually just the red hum of the red light at the back. So if they have that orange light or all of a sudden break their eye contact, it's like, oh, what are they doing? Oh, I've got to slow down and make sure they're stopping. Oh, good.
Well, talking about Elon Musk and Tesla, how he's doing the cars, and all the cars are coming out. His actual bigger focus is trucks.
Trucks, yes.
So, like,
I think I heard about that.
Having trucks all self-driving, like, autonomous, where it's a large vehicle, plus they're electric. They're electric trucks, saving the trees and the
It's pretty cool. I just feel bad though, because at the rate we're going, we're gonna have to. Have you ever heard of universal basic income? You ever heard that term before?
I have. I think you've told me.
Yeah. So basically, what it is the government's gonna. I've read some articles about it happening in trials around the world, where the government basically pays every citizen a check every single fortnight or week or whatever like that, regardless of whether you have a job or not.
Yeah.
So basically the thinking is, like, if you're working at, let's say, Kmart, you're working at Kmart and you're like, oh, they're not paying me good enough, so if I just quit that job, I have security because I still get a check from the government every week.
Okay.
So it's not a handout per se, because you can also start earning more money and you don't need the checks anymore, so then you can opt out. So I'm pretty sure there'd be like some sort of means testing where it's like, once you start earning above this much, you should probably opt out of it. But I think it'll have to happen because there's too much autonomous machinery and stuff like that. They're taking all the jobs. The robots are taking all the jobs. So it's happening in the next 30 to 40 years. People are going to struggle to find a job because robots are going to do everything.
Yeah.
I think hospitality and retail are going to be the last to go.
Yeah.
That's going to be the last to go. And I think that'll happen after our lifetime. Although retail can pretty much happen now on its own. But I think it's a scary future. I like the ideas of the autonomous things, but at the same time it's like, oh, these people don't get jobs because they're not truck drivers. But it's going to save lives on the road.
Well, someone
has to, I guess, maintenance the trucks, look after them, and shit like that. So I guess even though industries can be taken away and stripped away, there'll be more. So for instance, the coal industry is basically going to be fucking gone soon, hopefully, in this country, and we're going to be all about renewables, and we'll just be renewable energy. Everyone thought coal was so great 150 years ago. We've technologically advanced since then, and we're going, no, that's not good for us anymore. We don't need to use that way.
Yeah.
And we found out that using coal is really bad for the planet, and it's the reason we have global warming. For those people who don't care, or don't give a shit, that's the reason we have global warming, and that's why we need to move towards our renewable energies. And solar energy here in Australia is what we need to really push. Solar and wind. We have a shit ton of sun all year round.
Radio.
Sorry, I didn't mean to just go off on a little bit of a tangent. I just thought it was an interesting sort of point to make.
I just want to hear your thoughts on how early is too early to put up Christmas lights.
Well, this is an interesting topic because if we're talking about Australia, it's a bit different. But when you're talking about America, I'm pretty sure once Halloween's over, that's when it's spend that next few weeks chucking up the lights and getting that shit done, because they put up stuff for Halloween. Sometimes some people don't put up stuff, but let's just say if, for us, we had our Halloween stuff up, we had lights on, and every day leading up to Halloween we had lights on every night.
Yeah.
We haven't put the lights on since Halloween because we're waiting to get our Christmas stuff up, which we're going to be doing this week.
Yeah.
Yes.
We think, what's the date?
Today's the 20th?
Yeah. Yes. And I think that now is perfect.
I think late November.
For the people who really are dedicated to it, they already started in September.
I've seen people on Facebook that are so keen, that they do it in September.
But they can do
October.
that here in Australia.
But
They
it's
can
just like-
start because we don't usually celebrate Halloween, usually.
Yeah. It's just sometimes it's like, isn't it a little bit too early? Like,
Yeah.
What did you used to do, Michael? Because I know you did Christmas lights at your house for quite a few years. So I've seen
Yeah,
your
quite a few
setup
years,
a few times.
Technically, the rule of thumb is 1st of December.
Turn on the lights.
Which is, turn on the lights. So that's how I've always known it to be.
But setting up, what would you say? Like you can set it up but not turn it
Depends how
on.
big. So there was a bloke in Monty around the corner from mine.
yeah.
He says he starts on Melbourne Cup long weekend. So he has a shit ton of lights. to
Well, I
put up.
suppose if you have lots, then you probably need to start.
But that's what I mean. Like
Yeah.
he needs to start.
I think we got
early.
about 2,000.
But he turns it on the 1st of December.
Oh, yeah.
So he builds up to it, and that's the same. Like with every family, I think they should put it. I mean, like put it up when you want, but like traditionally, like it was the 1st of December.
Yeah.
Let's put up the tree, tinfoil.
But should we-
That.
Well, you still like.
Should we go with the tradition though?
I don't know.
Is
you
that-
don't have to? I don't really
I
care.
don't
Should
think
we-
we do that though, Sean.
I don't think we
I
care.
think we just do it in November, like late November, and then it's just
Yes.
like have it on.
Get the most out of it, I guess, for us. Is that's more the basis for it?
But when I was younger, when I was living with my mum and dad, we used to do it. I think the last weekend in November or the first weekend in December. So yeah, it just depends. But yeah, if we put them up early, we'd turn them on and yeah.
Imagine if you were like a massive house display and did it like America. It'd be quite popular here in Australia.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think if you had like
Yes,
some
it
sort of
does.
haunted house.
Yeah.
Americans do that. They have some people have haunted house sets up. Some people just have stuff out the front, which is what we did.
Yeah.
We had a few people, which was pretty good.
Nice.
I enjoyed that. I was a minion, and you were Ghostbuster, and Isabella was Elsa.
Yeah.
It was very
yeah,
cute.
when we're in Heidelberg, we put lights up in our house.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I liked that. That was cool.
I really enjoyed that. So I've got another funny story to finish us off today. Before we finish our podcast this afternoon.
This evening.
This evening, and it is about getting past automated telephone systems.
Okay.
It's something I read on Twitter, which I think is quite interesting. According to @AnnBot on Twitter,
Hello.
it's possible to avoid an automated phone service and get transferred to a real person simply by swearing down the phone. @AnnBot goes on to say her friend created and patented the technology. So my question is, would you want to try it? And what other phrases do you think might trigger you to go straight to a human? So if you're calling up Telstra, Optus, any
And
sort
you
of
get
thing,
like the person.
and you get the hello, please press 1 for.
I don't know. Like I just thought if you were just swearing at them, I thought they would hang up on you.
No, but it's the automated system. When it's automated, it's saying that if you just said fuck, it'll go straight to a person. Would you want to test it out the next time you have to call one of those places that
It
have?
depends who it is. If it was my phone company, I wouldn't mind.
Yeah, why
I
not?
wouldn't mind
If it
ringing
makes
up.
it get straight through, because it's like I don't want to fucking talk to you. It's like, dude,
It's like,
Be
I
a
swear to
person.
God,
Yeah.
I feel like doing that each week.
Yeah, you're just like, oh, why do you have to sit here? So like sitting
Each
for
month
half an
when I get
hour,
the bill.
like waiting to get
Swearing
connected or something like that, is a pain in the ass. When you can just
And yeah, it feels like if you've got an issue with something, no one wants to answer or talk to you.
yeah.
You know what I mean? It's how these companies work.
What other phrases do you reckon might trigger it to get? What phrases do you wish that it could probably trigger to go straight to a human? Like something you could say that would make you go directly to the customer service person.
I don't know.
Well,
Like, do you mean like
Just anything like work.
you're a cunt? Give me someone.
That'd be fun. That'd be great. You are now everyone listening. If you've got to call your phone company, just call them cunts on that automated system. Just say fuck you, you cunts. Let me talk to someone, and it should apparently work. Other users responded with their experiences. So one person claims they said the phrase "human, human, human," then they got connected. One also claimed they said the word agent, and it worked.
Agent.
Yeah. And then tweet that I loved the most of all, which made me chuckle a bit, was, it's going to be great when someone on the line goes, "Excuse me," and you realise it's not automated. So you're just like, "Fucking connect me to someone, you cunts!" And someone's just like, "Excuse me? Welcome to Apple support, how may I help you?"
You would just be like, fuck, hang up.
Whoops, I'm hanging up. So I think that will end it for us today, and I'll pass over to Michael, who's going to plug our socials.
Alrighty, guys. I hope you enjoyed the podcast. If you want to check us out on SoundCloud, iTunes, search for the 420 Project on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. If you have any comments or want to say hello, send us in an email at the 420 Project Podcast, or one word, at gmail.com. That's the 420 Project Podcast at gmail.com. Thanks, guys.
So from all of us here at the 420 Project Podcast, I'm Sean.
I'm Erin.
I'm Michael.
That's been episode number 7. We'll see you guys next week.
Take care.
Bye.